If your Zapier workflow is throwing an error, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix Zapier error handling step by step so you can get your automation running again as quickly as possible. We'll cover reconnecting your app account, checking permissions, making sure no fields are left empty, publishing the updated Zap, renaming your error handler for better organization, and checking Zapier's status page in case the issue is on their side. If this tutorial helps you, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more simple software walkthroughs. Let's get into it. First, go to Zapier and sign in to your account. Once you're inside your dashboard, click on Assets. This is where you can manage your automation resources and find the workflows you need to edit. Next, click Zap Workflows. You should now see the list of Zaps connected to your account. Now find the Zap that is causing the error and click on it. Open the workflow and look carefully at the step that is failing. A very common reason for Zapier errors is a broken connection between Zapier and the app you're using, so the next thing you want to do is disconnect and reconnect your app account. This refreshes the connection and often resolves authentication issues immediately. While you're checking the workflow, also make sure your user account has admin or write access in the target app. If the account doesn't have the right permissions, Zapier may not be able to create, update, or read data properly, which can trigger errors even if the Zap looks fine. So confirm that your connected account has the access level needed for the action you're trying to run. Another important check is to make sure you haven't left any fields empty. In Zapier, missing required fields can cause the Zap to fail during testing or publishing, so review each step carefully and fill in every required value. Even one blank field can stop the automation from running correctly. Once you've fixed the connection, verified permissions, and completed all required fields, click Publish to save and activate the updated Zap. This is an important final step because changes won't fully apply until the workflow has been published. Now let's clean up the error handling section so it's easier to understand later. If you want to rename a step in the error handler, click the three dots icon next to the error handler step. A drop-down menu will appear. From that menu, click Rename. A dialog box will pop up above the error handler, and here you can enter a new name for the error handler. Give it a clear label that tells you exactly what the step does, so it's easier to troubleshoot in the future. If the error is still not going away, there's one more place you should check. Go to status.zapier.com and look at the current system status. Sometimes the issue isn't your Zap at all, it could be a temporary outage or performance problem on Zapier's side. If there's an active incident, you may just need to wait until the service is back to normal. So to recap, open Zapier, go to Assets, then Zap Workflows, select the Zap causing the error, disconnect and reconnect the app account, confirm admin or write access, make sure no fields are empty, publish the changes, rename the error handler if needed, and check the Zapier status page for outages. That workflow will help you troubleshoot Zapier error handling much faster and with a lot less frustration. If this video helped, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more clear step-by-step software tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.